of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,
coming into the competition after a long break and showing us that they will maintain that champion position. Rexy, he's not gonna give up. It's do or die. He makes himself known. And Amaterasu with the finishing blow. Velocity Gaming, they are your champions of the TEC Challenger Series 4. Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 5, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have AFK Gaming as our media partner. It is the round of 128. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster today. And joining me, you already know, you saw him yesterday, it is CA, caster and analyst. How are you feeling today, CA?
Well, I am so excited to just get underway with the action because Series 5 is going to be our most competitive series yet, and we're already in the round of 128, so the action already ramping up.
Indeed. So for the first game that we have a total of 4, and the first one is going to be Daz versus XTZ Esports. Now, XTZ Esports, who is that? That is actually the old roster for Noble Esports. They have broken away from Noble, the organization, and now they're with XTZ. So it's going to be really cool. We're still going to see the similar faces. Actually, it's exactly the same lineup. Rexy, Harsh, Sai, Sammy, and Black Hawk. What do you think about this, now that they've come under XTZ? And what do you think Daz can expect going up a game that plays second in the Challenger Series 4?
I mean, for XTZ, it was always about going upwards and progressing as a team together. They've shown that they, moving on from Noble to XTZ, they moved for that intention, right? And with that intention, they need to show us a really good showing because they finished runners up, but it was hella close between Velocity and them last time around. So I'm sure they will want to upset that flow and come back with a vengeance. For Daz, they're up against a second place team, so they're going to have to show some dazzling moves.
Indeed, and the map of choice is going to be Split. Now, we know about Split. I think it is probably the most hated map. I do remember, when we started out with the Challenger Series 1, Haven wasn't really a fan favorite, but it has come down to Split. Why do you think that is? I do feel that it's because of all the corners. It's not very dynamic. There's not much to work with. What is your opinion here?
I think as everybody in our community has sort of gotten familiar with the game, we've seen more and more experimentation. And Split is one of those maps which really awards experimentation. You can already see that on your screen coming out in terms of agent picks. You see for XTZ, very standard picks with that breach coming out and a triple duelist composition. But for the side of Daz, you see that Sage coming out. Now, personally, I used to not be a big fan of this Sage till we saw her in action in the first strike. On the map of Split, especially, Sage can be really strong in her ability to just deny mid control entirely, especially when the opposite team with that breach wants to take mid control. Both of these teams, they have very polarizing approaches to the map, and it's going to come down to which team able to execute their way of playing better.
I do like Daz's composition, something different that you can work with, especially now, Sage utilizing the wall in more creative ways to get into angles where you can catch your opponents off guard. Now, looking at the double sentinel, double duelist, and one controller composition, how do you think it's going to fare up against XTZ? They're running 3 duelists and 1 initiator with a controller. Nothing defensive, and they are starting on the defensive side. So that's pretty cool coming out from XTZ.
One of the things I was really excited to see in the finals was that triple duelist composition for XTZ, formerly Noble, because I do think they have the players that can perfectly execute that triple duelist composition. When you have duelists like Sai, Harsh, and Sami going out, the firepower in the team really reigns supreme with that composition. But Daz, they have the perfect composition to sort of deny that flow of pace. Their Sage is all about denying the mid control and then playing for the extensive trades, getting those trades phase and then using the fact that you have the extra healing in your pocket to come out on top. So Daz, they need to try to do decently on attack, because going on to defense, that's where they will look to be at their strongest.
Indeed, and pulling up the scoreboard, we can see on the side of Daz, Acid, Signy, Nav, Niraf, and Might. Now, the stage is set for them. They're up against a juggernaut of a team, and let's see if they have it in them. Now, the pistol rounds, it usually can go either way. It all depends on your accuracy, but this is going to be Sami here on mid-top, looking for a little bit of damage to put on the opponents, but they're just going to back away. Now, not splitting up and crowding. A team like XTZ, they might just go for an aggressive push and sandwich them from, you know, two different sides. You can come through mid-bottom, or you can come through B-main as well. But here is the push coming in from the attackers, and Sai is going to help out there with that entry fragging. Blackhawk just making his way over. But it looks like both teams are going to pull a little bit back from this one. Sai finding first blood, a headshot onto Acid, and gets a double kill. Signy and Niraf, they do get return kills. Daz, they still got a chance here, CA.
Yeah, Daz going for that commit to A B site, even though they end up going a couple man down. They're really just sticking true to this site, and this might end up costing them, because right now you can see XTZ just holding their positions, refusing to give up any territory whatsoever. But now Daz, they're going in, is going to be Sami finding one headshot.
One enemy remaining.
Will not find another, but Blackhawk right there to back him up. Mighty, he found the kill, but he also dropped the spike, and it's going to be all up to Niraf to try and pull this round back in this 1v2 situation. Rexy and Blackhawk last man standing for XTZ. And with the time running out, Niraf, he has to go right now. He's doing just that. We'll find the headshot through the smoke though. Going for the plant, but Rexy playing it slow. We'll find him, and that's the round for XTZ Esports.
Rexy living with just a tick of health, 5 HP. But that was a good attempt there by Niraf. And Daz, they did get the spike planted. So, you know, that shows a little bit of strength there coming up from this team. Because we have seen many teams in the earlier stages of the tournament, when they go up against one of the top 8 teams from a previous series, they usually have a hard time. But right here, you know, I think Daz might just have a little bit of a fight in them. And they're going to go head-to-head. Up against XTZ. I mean, if you think about it, you know, if XTZ were to be eliminated right here, right now in the round of 128, that would be just quite an upset there, and gonna be very surprising. So, you know, Daz, they should try to claim that title. Now, Sai will find the first kill onto Signy. Just gonna pop that reload and head back in very aggressively. Blackhawk does get a kill with a seismic blast, and Sai continues the fragging. Sammy's gonna chime in, and the last man standing here. Sai's gonna pick that up. A total of a 3K. And eco round for Daz, but XTZ Esports, they're off to a great start.
It was the eco round for Daz, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt from this round, hoping that in the next round they start utilizing their comp in the way like one would expect them to, because right now they're playing into the hands of XTZ. XTZ want this, they want you to go for those constant duels, because they have the fragging power in the triple duelist, and the fact that they have that breach to be able to deny that push altogether, and playing into their hands the way Daz are doing, that will not help them whatsoever. Rather, what Daz can do is try to play it in a spread out fashion, use the fact that you have the stage to find separate duels and then look for the push. Sai now, he's playing a bit too aggressive with that playstorm, gets caught out by Niraf, but Sami on the other side right there to find the return kill for XTZ, makes it 4v4 on the map. Now this is the full buy round for Daz, but for XTZ they have a couple Spectres that they carried over from last round, so if Daz not able to win this round, it would hurt their economy significantly.
There with a brilliant spray, picking up that kill onto Acid with the help of that flash coming in from, I do believe it was Black.
One enemy remaining.
But that's Ami. He's gonna take down Nav, and it's all down to Might, last man standing, and that's gonna be a 3K for Harsh. Very nicely done by XTZ. Showing that it's not going to be a problem for them at all in defense. And when you're looking at Split, you know, it's not exactly attack favored. You know, it does feel more defense favored. Split, it's very straightforward. You have one entrance onto the B side and the A side, but if you want to go to the alternative, you got to take over mid, get that mid control. And time again, you know, we see the attackers, they might just tunnel into just going for a full-on push onto one site. I would like to see Daz here go for the mid control and pick a site of their choice. But this is going to be a B main push. Everyone just gathered up. Rexy here, first man of defense. But Saya is going to join him. He is definitely on form today. Very aggressive indeed. Those dark covers are going to keep the defender safe. But now as it disappears, Sai here, he gets a little bit of help from his trusty breach. Finds one kill. That's going to be the second. Dashes, picks up a third. Lovely assist coming in from his home minute. That's going to be Rexy. Now Might going to pop the teleport. He's hiding in the corner with his jet. And it's all down to Nirab, last man standing as he reloads. And he is taken down by Blackhawk. 4th round for XTZ Esports.
Sai just going in, all out, all guns blazing. He refuses to let Daz even breathe for a little bit, finding this triple in almost impossible circumstances and surviving irrespective of the fact that he's in that 1v3. Beautiful gameplay coming out from him to now secure the 4-0 for XTZ Esports. Now, that was the eco round coming out for Daz. So going into the next round, I really want to see not a 5-man stack coming out from Daz, rather to spread themselves out on the map. But once again, we are going to see a 5-man stack. So a bit disappointed. But right now, it's going to be Rexy, because Rexy just pushing it aggressively the way Side did, fighting the skills. Harsh with another down in mid, and now he has to defend against the running back coming in from Daz, but that's not going to happen. The Odin's coming out from Daz though. Daz trying a different tactic.
Now Harsh, just keeping himself safe. Still gonna do his best there, and that paint shell blows up. Not gonna catch anyone just yet. But Daz, they still have a chance now that one more member on the side of XTZ has fallen. This is going to be Navia with the Odin. Very much ready. He does have the heal on hand. No other abilities, but he's looking for that rotate. Black Hawk, he will keep guard of the B site. And Daz here, they're looking for that mid control. XTZ, just spread out and they're going to wait for the Q.
XTZ today playing without Hika, a person we regularly get to see on the Rays. It really does seem like they're not just that like known 5-man roster, but rather a full 6-man squad. Blackhawk stepping in and doing just as well, and allowing players like Harsh, who we generally see on the Cypher, to switch onto that duelist role and just sort of flex himself a little bit. Feel that extra freedom. But right now, Daz, they're still in a 3v3 situation. The time is running out though, and they need to make their moves. Trying to do just that. Blackhawk finds one, Sami with another, and with the spike carrier down, Niraj should have no choice except to go for the save. We'll find a frag onto Sami, and he's pushing in, looking for more. Will just get tagged out, and that's an expensive round down for Daz. They lost 3 Odins and Operator in that round. That's a lot of credits going in.
Really like Blackhawk on the breach. We have seen him as a sub for different teams, but right now I think, you know, his place, like you mentioned with XTZ, with this roster, it is really good. Like right now, Blackhawk has 8 assists, and we have seen so many kills that was so crucial in allowing XTZ to secure the round for themselves. And having those 8 assists, perfectly timed flashes, fault line, seismic blast, even in the last round, and Harsh managing to find that headshot. That is how you play an initiator like Breach. Perfectly done by Blackhawk. And Sami, he's gonna find a kill onto Signy, but Daz, they pick up 2 for themselves. Blackhawk just gonna even out the playing field a little bit. Rexy with the dark cover, it comes out. He's gonna retreat back into his defensive space. Might now with the Odin. Blackhawk's gonna launch out the Rolling Thunder, and Mike picks him off way quicker than he expected. Rexy now, next one up. He is left alone with Harsh. Mike with the ultimate there.
One enemy remaining.
Gonna get the spike play, but Harsh, the nade connects and picks up that kill. It's all down to Niraf. A sheriff and a dream. This is not the ideal situation that you want to be in on the attacker side, but let's see what Niraf has in store for us. He's gonna be able to get those taps, but Harsh on that operator serves him well. 6th round for XTZ Esports.
Harsh with that fadeaway nade. He's casually just takes down the spike carrier and ready with the op to finish off the round. Really nice to see him like on a roll where he really gets to sort of exhibit his creativity and his caliber as a player much more in general. But yeah, like talking about Blackhawk, right? We've seen this guy on different teams. We've seen this guy play agents ranging from Sova to Omen to Cypher. He's shown himself to be continuously versatile, and now picking up that breach, not missing a step whatsoever. He's on point with his gameplay. Really speaks volumes about the player in general. Now they're going for the mid push in Daz, but they're just all gonna get flashed out and reveal their positions now. They need to try to find first blood, but it'll be instead Sai finding that, and with the backup of the rest of his team, we'll find two more. The spike carrier is down. Looks like an easy 7-0 for XTZ.
Was a massive spray down in the mid area. 4 members of Dash just going out harsh. Not gonna quite connect that shot. And Niraf just gonna play a little bit with time, but we can see a swarm of angry members from XTZ. They are circling the perimeter. They're going for the knife, and Sammy is the one to take it away. But that was a flawless round for the defenders. They've come in prepared, and Daz here, they're not having too much of a good time. But hey, you know, this kind of experience, I hope it does serve them well. And let's see, they still got some time to kind of pull themselves back up.
Yeah, they definitely have the composition that they need to come back in defense and try to be stronger. But to do that, they need to try to pick up a few rounds. And I'm really looking to them to try and just sort of find the Sage power in a particular angle, right? You know how XTZ like to play. They like to play extremely aggressively, using that breach. Even though they're on defense, they use that breach to push into particular angles, take control of territory, either at A short, B short, or mid. And that's where they really thrive. As they need to find a way to shut it down by waiting for that, predicting that. But once again, they stack up towards that B garage, and Blackhawk just waiting for them. He'll find them first, but now Acid with the judge on by 2. Sai dashed into the middle of the chaos. He's found 3, and now with the 4th, Sai literally just went into all of them, and he's like, I will kill you single-handedly.
Sai, what happened there? I think a little bit of miscommunication. Sai should have went down a lot quicker, but allowing him to live, picking up that 4K Sai. He is gunning for that MVP position. Now Harsh and Rexy both on operators. That is going to be kind of interesting, but hey, I'm not mad at it, especially when, you know, you're in defense. It allows you to hold angles with that op, get some quick kills. You know, if anything, if Daz has that kind of information, they should look to be a little bit more prepared. But Size is gonna mow them down on A ramp there. Triple kill on that Vandal, and here comes Harsh with the showstopper, finding Acid, tossing in the nade. It's not gonna connect, but Sai, he's looking for blood, and it's all down to the last 2 members there. And I do believe a resurrection was popped. And that is going to be Sai finding the 4K, and that is going to be an ace.
Sai is feeling himself. He got a 4K in the last round, and an ace coming in here. He's popping off in this matchup and really just enjoying his time here. And you really have to say for XTZ, like, I have to give so much props to the entire team, because going through the the idea of parting with an organization and coming into a new one, it's definitely more difficult than it sounds, I think, for the entire team, because the times you experience as a team where you don't really get to focus on the game, rather have to focus on your future, can result in some sort of disadvantage coming into your gameplay. But XTZ, they haven't dropped a beat whatsoever. They look as aggressive and dominant as they look in our grand finals, and now with a 9-0 scoreline, we'll have to see if they can make it a flawless 13-0. Nothing to take away from Daz though, because they are facing up against that second place team. But now once again, aggressiveness coming out from XTZ, kills going on all around, the spike carrier down, that should be 10-0.
And this is the thing, right, about XTZ's composition. It's so aggressive. 3 duelists, 1 initiator, and just that Omen is sit back. And even if you're looking at Omen as a controller, he is so impactful. He can be an aggressive pick. And near up there, he does connect the spray. He's trying for another, but Rexy's gonna stick a knife right down his throat. and Neraf is going to go down double digits for XTZ Esports. But that is the composition, and to see that XTZ is pulling it off with the aggression required for it to work, it is great to see. Now, does this composition work against a team a little bit more similar in terms of skill level to XTZ? That is what I'm going to look forward to. But Daz here, not much time now with XTZ, 10 points on the scoreboard. It does look like they can close this game off very quick.
Yeah, definitely, right? XTZ, they look like on a tear and they refuse to stop. Now Rexy pushing in aggressively too. Just as you said, even the one agent that you could expect to sit a little back is that Omen who wants to play aggressively. Rexy doing just that, finds the triple. Sami with another, it'll be Signy finding one, but Rexy with his fourth, that's 11-0 for XTZ Esports.
Last round before the switch.
That was a really quick round. And just gonna have a quick look at the scoreboard, but we can see that Daz here clearly is a skill mismatch. But you know, tournaments like these, it is also a chance for teams like Daz to kind of have a taste of what competitive is. Take down some notes, you know, it's all a learning experience. And, you know, it's great to see new teams kind of come out of nowhere. And, you know, if we do recall, Series 4, we had so many underdogs that made it so far into the competition, caught us all by surprise. And, you know, it could be any of these teams. But Rexy there with a very brave move to pump the ultimate, and he's gonna be right in the attacker side spot, taken out so quick by Navs. Now Harsh inside, finding kills of their own. Acid's gonna return one, Acid returns two, and now Signy, he's gonna go down by the boom bot, let out by Harsh. Acid with 34 HP, he's gonna get caught off guard, he slips away, but Black Hawk is determined to secure that kill. Match point for XTZ Esports.
Switching sides.
0
Match
already.
point.
XTZ, they wasted no time in establishing their dominance, and also a bit of show off coming there, rightfully so, you know. I think for teams like XTZ, given the fact that this is the last series of our Challenger Series franchise, for them it's about making a mark and sort of trying to establish that, hey, it's not just about the current champions, not just about velocity. Teams like us, you need to look at us and remember that we are just as scary. XTZ doing just that here, and really, even though it's around 128, they show that it's very much possible for there to be a large skill gap between those two teams. For Daz, it's as you said, Apo, like, I think this is a chance for them to really learn looking at the best, playing against the best, and we can already see improvement coming out throughout, like from Series 1 to Series 5, where we would see a lot of weird compositions coming out between teams as compared to Daz, which have a proper game plan. And now XTZ, they're going for match point, and already they've found a couple kills and
Last player standing.
Now it's all down to Might, last member standing on the side of Daz, and he fires away with the frenzy. This is the side swap, but Daz Might, he is going to run for his life in XTZ Esports. They're trailing behind. He might just go down. He turns his back, but he's still making a run for it. XTZ, they're chasing him down, and at this point, Might, he's trying his best. He picks up a double, and that is not gonna stop him. Rexy, he's gonna pull out the gun, but Might is gonna mow him down. Play with me. I'm just gonna take your lives because that ain't cool. And Might will secure the first round for Daz.
CZ going in with a bit of VM and Might surviving the odds, keeping calm and just backing up, letting them come to him. They're all going for the knife. He's like, okay, you want to walk into my hands? Gets a beautiful paranoia, blinds all of them, and is able to pick up that 4K to secure the round. I hope that was a good enough wake-up call for XTZ, because they need to realize that you can't just sort of not play 100% against teams in our tournament, because they will take advantage of it. But for XTZ, they have 10 more rounds to secure this round matchup, and they're gonna do just that. Going in for that first buy. Now, Nidaf playing that offensively, finds one for Blackhawk, Hush returning it instantly. Nav with one and Hush with another, meaning once again it's XTZ with the man advantage.
Now this is Might, the savior of Daz, finding the first round, but Blackhawk's gonna take him out. It's all down to Nav, and Blackhawk puts a
win.
That is XTZ Esports going over to the round of 64, and that was a pretty fun map to watch, but specifically I was very interested in the team compositions and how that played out. And I think XTZ here really showed us that 3 duelists, 1 initiator, and 1 controller, especially picking the most the agent with the most potential to be aggressive on, which is a controller, is Omen. I like this full on aggression from XTZ Esports. Now we're gonna look at the scoreboard, and that's gonna be Sai claiming that MVP spot, and Harsh just trailing behind. But everyone on the side of XTZ, they did do well. Big ups to Niraf and Might. They were trying to do the best they can for the team. But Daz, I do hope to see you guys in future competitions because don't give up. Everyone starts from somewhere, but once again, congratulations to XTZ for making it over to the round of 64. Now, CA, how did you feel about that game? I think we should talk a little bit more about it. We're going to head over to Relive the Moment, brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 notebook, powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors. Perfect for gaming and multitasking. So, on this topic of XTZ going up against Daz, clear skill mismatch. But did you notice anything interesting about the 2 different compositions? And I think it does spark a lot of thoughts on how you can approach Split.
I mean, given the fact that we've sort of come 5 months in our journey now from when teams were sort of following the velocity way, what was the standard meta composition, to where teams now are understanding what they're best at, what their identity is, and really what they feel comfortable with, it shows the progress made, right? I personally love, for XTZ, specifically this triple duelist composition. I still remember in the grand finals, like the entire disclaimer code, because this is not a composition that anybody can pull off. This is a composition that requires a lot of synergy and also a lot of firepower within that particular team. XTZ, they're able to do it because they love playing aggressively, they love playing on their own tempo and dictating the pace of the match, and that's why they look so strong with it. For the side of Daz though, what I found really interesting is that stage being picked up, because if First Strike taught us anything, is that while the meta definitely exists, while what is best definitely exists, there is also answers to it, and Sage, she's come up as one of those answers in a different way of utilizing her. So I'm curious to see how moving forward, as we get to see the better and better teams in this series 5, which ones find that creativity in terms of agent compositions, because given the closeness of all the teams, I think that might just be the edge for the winner.
Indeed. And before we close this off, I will like to say that Black Hawk was amazing on that breach, and it's great to see that he was setting up really good flashes. And we do see the work of breach players here in the competition, but Black Hawk, he really stood out in this one game. So I'm gonna keep my eye on him, and I want to see if he's gonna bring in that consistency throughout the entire journey of XTZ if they do progress further into the competition. But that was a great game. Congratulations, XTZ. You guys make it over to the round of 64. Now, as this game has come to an end, we will have the second game coming up very shortly. We are going to prepare for that, and that will be CL Avalanche versus Godlike Esports. That's something you don't want to miss. Godlike Esports. That is going to be a tough team for CL Avalanche to go up against, but hopefully we'll get something spicy in one of these earlier rounds. Remember, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challengers Series 5, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We'll be back very shortly after this break, so stay tuned.
Time every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
into the competition after a long break and showing us that they will maintain that champion position. Rexy, he's not going to give up. It's do or die. He makes himself known. And Amaterasu with the finishing blow. Velocity Gaming, they are your champions of the TEC Challenger Series 4. Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 5. Powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD, we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We're back with game number 2. This time, I'm going to be joined with Aggressive, caster and analyst. How are you feeling today, Aggressive?
The first match was really interesting to say the very least, but it was really fun to watch indeed. XTZ bringing down the big guns down to the table, and they didn't even have Hika, and it was Blackhawk coming on the substitute ever so beautiful on that breeze. The way he plays the map, it's just a treat to watch, and I just want to see even more coming forward.
That's perfect. All right. So right now we've got CL Avalanche going up against Godlike Esports. Now for CL Avalanche, I can't speak much for them. I do believe this is my first time seeing them. I gotta think about that. So Godlike Esports. Now we know Godlike Esports. They placed at least in the top 8 the last time around, and it's gonna be a pretty interesting matchup here. Now Avalanche, we do see.
We do see quite a lot of interesting picks coming out for the map of Fine this time around, though. It seems as though the way that they're going to be moving forward into this matchup is really, really interesting because, first of all, we're actually seeing a Sage come out instead on the hands of Toxic. And Sage being a pick on Bind is a lot more, let's say, unorthodox because Sage, she has only one use, mainly walling off the B side and hookup in most cases. But having the Sage is not going to be as beneficial as having any other of the Sentinels, mainly because you're losing out on the cyber cages, maybe the Killjoy turret, being able to spot out enemies on long as well as Hookah, while being in such a conspicuous position that most attackers cannot even break it. And having that Sage, it just builds a very one-dimensional playstyle. But we have seen in European Valorant scenes as well that Sage can be really, really good if it is used creatively for wall boosts instead of actually denying site control. So I'm really hoping to see that Toxic, he's going to be bringing something different, a new flavor to Sage, because most people think that Sage is a very one-dimensional character, but shifting her towards a much more of the semi-duelist role is going to be changing the entire flow of the game, I would say.
Indeed, and I did make a huge mistake. So, the previous game where we were supposed to see Avalanche and Godlike Esports, it is not them. It is actually Wolves Esports going up against Aye Gaming. So it is Wolves versus Aye, and this is going to be really cool. Now, what is interesting is that in Aye Gaming, we do see personalities like Tito, Batman, and Pokey's No Good. Now, these three, I do remember one of them were previously in the old roster of Noble, another was in the Rad Syndicate, but they've kind of banded together, formed an Aye Gaming, and they're going to be starting out here on the side of defense. Huge apologies once again for getting the team names mixed up, but we're still going to carry on with the action. Now, on the side of attack, that's going to be Wolves Esports, and let's see if they do have that bite. Aggressive.
Wolves Esports, not really a team that, like, the names on this team are not really known. As you said, Aya Gaming, there are names that we do know, being Batman, being Ditto. We have seen them, but from the side of Wolves Esports, not really many. I know for a fact who is Zeus. I heard his name mentioned a couple of times in a lot of the past tournaments that I was watching, but everyone else, not really known players. But who knows? They may just be the underdogs of the story. Remember last series we had Powerpuff Boys coming out and then tryouts? this season they could be the next big thing. We never know. But the execute going onto the B side is going to be quite heavy with multiple players just rushing up the long side. He's going to be slowly walking in, but the Omen takes first contact. But Toxic is way too quick, and Batman from the sidelines, he's cleaning them up one after the next with a slow down. He's fighting one. He's going to be tapping away. Gets a 4K for himself, and Partial comes in from the back lanes to clean up the last remaining member. And Aya Gaming hold an amazing defense on the B side.
Oh, Batman denied that ace, but Pasha coming in from the back, picking that up was very beautifully done. But Batman off to a great start. He's always been in a more defensive role. I remember, you know, when he was first here on the Challenger series, he used to play a lot of Sage, and now it has transitioned into that Cypher. But, you know, Batman, he does have that experience and whatnot, followed with Tito and Pokies. Overall, Gaming, they are looking pretty solid if you look at their history, but that's gonna be Pokey right off the bat, picking up a double, and Tito finds one for himself, leaving Wolves to only one as Smurf falls as well, and Void is going to be the last person, and that is Pokey, getting a total of 3 kills.
Pokey, he just went in for the spray down, going on a hyper-aggressive push on that A-long side, A-short side, and that is much more of the common angle, I would say, when it comes to those eco rushes on the map of Vine. Normally, people don't want to eco rush on B because of the amount of angles you need to check in a much more long range and unconventional position, and even with smokes, it's kind of difficult to do anything if they have specters in hand. And Pokey was able to read that perfectly, go into A main, and just go for a full-on spray-down rush, but it's gonna be Pokey. Again, he's going for hyper-aggressive push, but it's gonna be Partial being able to get that first pick with the operator in hand, being able to take out Toxic. And Pokey, he's still holding it down, holding down his fort on that side, but it seems as though Typhon, he has something else to say about it. Pokey pushes out of the smoke, gets one on the Zeus, leaving only 2 members remaining for the side of Wolf Esports. And this is going to be hurting them quite a lot moving forward. The rounds are going really quick.
Now Typhon does attempt to spray with the Stinger here. Not going to invest too much, but this is the 3rd round. And it's going to be a major loss for the attackers, but it seems like Anoop was in another dimension of his own. Had no clue. Void there to return the kill onto Titan. But he is the last man standing. That recon ball not too much, but he does get sandwiched, and Tito in perfect time, showing himself and taking that kill for himself. Now, if you're talking about Tito, he used to be on that Omen, but it seems like Sova might be his new love as well. Overall, looking at the composition, I do feel that what Gaming is running is pretty standard here. You always need at least 1 Sentinel and 1 controller on this map. You've got to have that initiator for the attack side, and your duelists are free to do what they do best.
I do love the coordination coming out from the side of Gaming. The way that he was able to use that Omen TP, come out, use the Paranoia, being able to set up Tito for those kills, that is what you want to be seeing coming out from an experienced team. And this just goes to show that Gaming as a team, they have a lot of experience working together, and this is what is going to be giving them that advantage. But Zeus, he does miss that concussive fault line, and this may just be a huge issue as Titan the top side. But Batman, he goes in for the spray with that Spectre. He does the dance of death. He just goes up, down, and center, gets the headshots, gets the kills that he needed to, and he's wanting for more. He's hungry for more. 2 more members remaining for the side of Wolves Esports, and it's going to be Smurf trying to go up to the challenge and take out these juggernauts. But with the neural theft coming in, and Batman being as hungry as he is, goes for the spray with that Vandal. He gets the headshot. He wants the last kill. He's hungry for it. He's running it down. He doesn't check the right corner. Yes, he does. And an ace comes out for Batman to take it away. And the 4th round is in the hands of Gaming.
Second game on stream for today, and the second ace that we are going to see. Good on Batman there. And, you know, as a Cypher, defense is your territory. And for him to be able to pull off such a massive spray down there at Garden, picking up 3 kills, was just insane for his team. They did let him hunt for that last kill, and it seems like Wolves Esports, they're having a tough time up against Gaming here. But this is going to be Titan there with the satchel play. He finds a double. Slick moves. That was smooth. And Wolves Esports down to 2 as
Last
Tito
player
finds one.
standing.
Now Smurf,
Flawless.
he's gonna get caught off guard. And Tito finding a triple. That was a really quick round, and it seems like this will be another case of a skill mismatch. But hey, it's a round of 28.
It's a round of 128, so what can you expect? This does happen quite often, yes, of course. But it seems as though Aya Gaming, they're just so well coordinated. And I wouldn't say that Wolf Esports are bad, but they're not really following up on any forms of aggression or any forms of plays that Aya Gaming are actually putting down to the table. For example, when the Raze use the showstopper, instead of just running away from it, you cannot run from a Raze. You just take the full-on fight. Both of you just spray her down, and she's probably just gonna die out at some point. Because you need to take that chance. You can't just go in for peaks like that and Smurf. You know for a fact that Partial's holding down that side and you're still going for that peak. That is where it's gonna be hurting the most, and it's really these small rookie mistakes are what's going to be costing them the most. Zeus goes in for this frame, but Pokies, he's way too quick. Typhon takes the peak as well, being able to take out Zeus. Anoop, though, finally being able to answer with his own kill. Does find one onto the Jet, and the A side control has been established, but the bomb is just going to be chilling out inside of B main. Tito, he's going to be able to find one. And Toxic, he's the last remaining member, slowly creeping his way through lamps, but it seems as though they have his phone number and they're going to be calling him up real soon.
Tito with that flying shot there, connecting the headshot. And 6 rounds secured for Aya Gaming. They're doing really great, and you know, we do see that only 3 kills has been taken on the side of Wolves Esports, but you know, they gotta just keep trying. They gotta get a little bit creative here in attack, and Bind being known for his teleporters, you can do a lot of bamboozling, have a lot of plans. I think some of the greatest strategy that we have seen is when, you know, there are 2 lurkers on B long, they take the teleporter, acting like they're gonna go for that A plant, but secretly they have some troops pushing up in B short, and it was just a distraction tool for B side plant. You can be very creative, but Batman, he's just gonna rely on that spray, and there goes 2 members of Wolves Esports. Now Batman going into hookah. Now he's gonna spot one. Toxic's just much quicker this time. And Pokey, he is gonna push the teleporter once again. He breaks the wall, taking Toxic by surprise. Void is the last man, and Pokey, with the constant aggressive push into that teleporter, he is picking up these frags, just securing the win for his team. Very nice round, 7th for Aya Gaming.
Batman, what was that shot? You just saw a shoulder and he instantly just tapped away the head of Zeus. At the same time, yes, of course, this was a pretty bad play, I would say, coming out from the side of Wolves Esports, because when you are trying to push B long, you're trying to establish proper control. And the fact that Zeus got caught with his pants down in that situation in a way because he was trying to use his ability in the open instead of trying to clear up the angle instead, gets caught off guard and he does go down. Normally, you'd always have a smoke in front of you, which you would use to actually set up your flashes and then push straight in through the smoke while taking side control with your own abilities. That is how you should be doing it, but it's gonna be Tito going in for the first one, but Koki, he's at an off angle, he's gonna be able to find one. Tito finds the second, and there's only 2 more members remaining in the shower angle. The Sage is extremely low, needs to back off, but Loki has their phone numbers, calls them up, and Pokey, he's hoping for more, but Titan, he goes in straight from the front side with those Sato packs, blasting himself forward, but Toxic, he's not gonna be able to clean him up and get sprayed down. And another round on the board for Aya Gaming, and they're looking to close it down in a very dominant fashion.
They are going really aggressive there, despite being on the side of defense, just pushing up ahead. But that is why I do like their composition quite a bit, because you know, you have that Sova to gather the information, you have the Jet and the Raze to work with, and you know, the next line of defense, the ones that are in the back, will be the Omen and the Cypher. So, you know, in terms of positioning, they do have a very overall team composition. Whereas I do feel that Wolves Esports, they might just struggle here a little, considering that, you know, the Brimstone and the Sage, it is going to be a little tough to work with. But they could use that Sova and Breach. So far, we haven't seen much comboing, but they might just get to it. Now, Pokey just slipping away. That Rolling Thunder is not going to connect onto a single member of the side of defense, and Pokey is coming in with the spray, connects the headshot. One takes the teleporter, And that is going
One
to be the
enemy
second.
remaining.
Tito's going to find one of his own, and so does Pasha. Last man standing is going to be Toxic, and he is firing away, but Tito wraps that up. And another round for Ideapad Gaming, looking for a clean sweep.
That was just a really fast execute, I would say, and the Rolling Thunder being used in that way is not really as beneficial as you may think, because the Rolling Thunder is such an ability that you want to use to force a person off of an angle. If you know for a fact that there is a person sitting inside of lamps, then yeah, for sure, use the Rolling Thunder, but you don't need Rolling Thunder to clear out lamps in any sort of situation. A flash is more than enough, because the flash can clear it out while you have your breach blast shot to go and clear off any sort of the cubby angles. They cannot stay in cubby, and they need to stay on this left-hand side where they're gonna get flashed. And then you can use a Rolling Thunder to just instantly blow yourselves down into a site in a much more coordinated manner. And this is what Wolves Esports needs to do, and this is what's gonna be hurting them quite a bit. But with Pokey, he already does use the fake teleport to see what he can find, but it's gonna be Wolves Esports going for a fast push once again. But Batman, he has his own vengeance, goes in for the spray down, and he's gonna be able to
Last
find
player
2 kills,
standing.
2 headshots, 1 spray down to take it all away. Ditto, he's gonna find one on the Smurf, and I know being the last member remaining gets swarmed down, and it's gonna be a knife kill trying to come out from Titan as he blast backs in his face. But Tito's like, nah, man, let's not do it just yet. He's gonna be able to find the last remaining kill off and making it a 10-0 scoreline for the side of Ideapad Gaming.
Couple of rounds before the side swap, and if anything, the time is now to try to get a few rounds for themselves. Now looking at the attackers, Anoop there, 3 kills at the top. He has been trying to pick up all these frags for his team. He did get 1 there, but there's a little bit more that needs to be done. I do feel the attackers could utilize Anoop and their 2 initiators to get that info before going in for a push. But this is gonna be Tito here, just putting out that drone. He's gonna get all that information, and Anoop secures the kill out to Batman. Toxic gonna fall in. Zeus is gonna make himself known. Down to a 3v3. It's still anybody's game, but the spike is in a compromised position. Now Pokey's forced to teleport, and Anoop sneaks behind. This is exactly what he needs to do, but Pasha's just too quick. And that was a wrap-up, but it was also a round that was a lot better than the other rounds prior. So, you know, we can see that the attackers are trying to adjust and make the best of this situation.
They're trying to do what they can, but at the same time it feels as though the breach is not really getting a lot of value that you would normally get. And Bind is one of those maps that I personally don't like on a breach, and I think that the playing grounds of breach is Ascent and on Split. Bind is a good map for breach, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot more harder to execute if your team is not as coordinated as you would hope them to be. And this is where this would have hurt them the most. And already we're seeing another massive push coming out from the side of Ideapad Gaming. They're gonna be able to find 1 and 2 as well. The revive does even up the playing field just a tiny little bit, but at the same time, with all the ultimates being present for the side of Ideapad Gaming, having that neural theft, having the Blade Storm, this is gonna hurt a lot, and it's gonna be Batman getting that first kill. The neural theft gets popped out as well. They know exactly where they are, and Batman, knowing where they are, he's gonna be cleaning it all up with a 4K coming straight out of Boca, guns blazing, getting all of the headshots, cleaning it all up, making it a 12-0 scoreline for their side. And this, 1 more round to go forward from and this is match point, and another 1 round for Ideapad Gaming to move forward into the round of 64.
What an entrance from Batman. 18 kills, surpassing his duelists. Man, he is having a great day, and this is the Batman that I like to watch. Seems like he has found his place. And, you know, looking at the course of this Challenger series, we're now at the final installment of the whole 5-month tournament. And, you know, this being Challenger Series 5, we have seen so many ciphers really pull off a great performance. And I do believe that, you know, looking at the kit, there's not a lot of abilities that you can work with immediately, like the duelists, like Jet and Raze. So you gotta rely on that aim. And Batman, he definitely has that down. Now Pasha here going in for a duel, but Tito's there to back him up, secures the kill onto Smurf. And Tito finds another. Toxic takes down Tito. And now there's gonna be another one, but Pokey
Attackers win.
finds the headshot. 13 is to Gaming. They make it through to the round of 64.
That was a beautiful run coming out from the side of Aya Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to hold that attack down so well. They played it aggressively. But the defense as well, I have to give props to the side of Wolves Esports. They were able to play for the trades, but then again, try and play for the duels. Try and play for the trades a lot more closer. And then you're going to have a lot more success. Yes, I'm trying to be nitpicky here because you as a team, I see potential moving forward, but this is where practice makes perfect. You as a team are not playing together. And when you are going to be playing together a lot more, this is where you're going to be reaching the same level as Aya Gaming in due time, of course. But still, a really good really good game coming out from the side of Aya Gaming. They're going to be moving forward to the round of 64. And this was a really quick game. Honestly, like it felt as though it just started, and now it's already over.
Hey, it happens, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more about what happened by moving into Relive the Moment, brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 notebook, powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. Now, I'm going to talk about Wolves Esports. Now, you can see that they're really fresh on the scene. This is the first time that we are seeing them on stream as well. And, you know, the way that Wolves, they kind of had an idea. Like, it was interesting looking at their picks, but the execution wasn't quite there. And I do believe that if they kind of just, you know, go back to the drawing board, they could definitely work around something. But specifically, Anoop there, being able to pick up the most number of frags, good on you. It must have been a great experience, and I hope to see you guys in more tournaments to come. Now, as for Aya Gaming, we know some of these names. These guys have the experience, but now they're banding together. They could potentially be one of the underdogs here in the competition in this Challenger Series 5. And I'm looking forward to it because I don't recall seeing Tito in the Challenger Series 4. So for him to make his appearance now, I think there's going to be a lot for us to see. We can expect surprises. What are your thoughts, Aggressive?
Honestly speaking, this team, the way that they were playing, the way that they were moving was just absolutely incredible. The more I notice this, the more I see how they play, it seems as though they're a team that have the potential to learn and they have the potential to grow at a really rapid pace, because I can already see such high-level team play and tactics, the hookah pushes, the teleporter holds, a Badman just being an absolute dominant beast, holding down the entirety of B Long on his own. That is absolutely unheard of for a Cypher player to do just that, and doing it all alone at the same time, even though he had Titan on his side to back him up. This just goes to show what kind of an amazing team that Aya Gaming is, and moving forward, as you stated before, they're probably going to be the biggest underdogs of this entire series.
All right, so that is all for this second game. It was really good to see Aya Gaming make it over to the round of 64. So congratulations once again. Now we will be preparing for game number 3, and this will actually be the last game for today. We are going to stream only 3, but do take note, this upcoming match is going to be Global Esports versus HM1. So do stay tuned because we will tell you more on why this is such a juicy match here in the round of 128. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss it. Remember, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 5, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. So grab a snack, chill out, and we'll be right back with you guys very shortly. Stay tuned.
Time every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Baby, while we're young, And we don't need to do the things we don't wanna do. Baby, while we're young,
coming into the competition after a long break and showing us that they will maintain that champion position. Rexy, he's not going to give up. It's do or die. He makes himself known. And Amaterasu with the finishing blow. Velocity Gaming, they are your champions of the TEC Challenger Series 4.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 5, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD with AFK Gaming as our media partner. I'm C. I'm going to be your host and caster for this series, and I'm joined by Aggressive on the mic. And today we're going to be seeing Global Esports in action versus HM1. And both of these teams we know very well about. HM1, they're a team that we've seen previously in Series 4, but Global Esports making their comeback. Do you think they'll be back with a bang?
Global Esports, they had a very lackluster finish when it came to Series 3. They took the break in Series 4, went to boot camp, they just trained out their muscles, they got even stronger, and hopefully they came back with a vengeance story coming out, going to fight VLT once more, hopefully going up into the grand finals to see if they can get the final shot at this cup. It's gonna be one of those stories that we love to see. But HM1, it is gonna be a big, big hurdle because we know they have big names, such as Formless himself on that roster.
Yeah, HM1, they're a well-known roster. For Global Esports, they're coming into this matchup with the comfort of having gone through practice with their own new change coming into the roster. As we know, Blackhawk, he's now with XTZ ESPORTS. Instead, it's going to be Lightning Fast joining Global Esports. And Lightning Fast is a name we are very familiar with. Formerly of Level 5, he's already proven his merit on the map. And he's now looking to sort of establish his claim with that bigger team, make it even further than he did with level 5. He's going to be picking up the Cypher for GE. Now, instantly looking at the compositions, Aggressive, this is something that I was forewarned about before we even came into the series, which is the breach on Hellranger coming in with SK Rossi's Jet. I think this is a potent and extremely dangerous combination, especially on the map of Ascent, and I think it's something that we have to keep an eye on.
Also, another thing that we have seen shift over is skills not being on the Cypher and actually shifting towards the Omen instead. We normally saw skills being the duelist. We saw him being the duelist. Then he went to being a sentinel. Now he's into the Omen, and I believe that the Omen is gonna be perfect for him. Omen is one of those very few characters that can both play in a defensive clutch manner while being aggressive in nature and skills. He's gonna be able to make perfect use of every single one of his abilities and every single one of the setups while he sets his team up, as well as sets himself up for all those big brain mind game plays. And having Rossi on that Jet, having the potential of the breach on Hellranger, this is going to be an absolute unstoppable force. And I stated this before, and I'll say this over and over again. Breach and Jet are like a married couple when it comes to Ascent.
Yeah, it's the flash and dash combo. One guy sets the other guy up, and in the other guy goes and pop, 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 go heads. We'll have to see if it works out though, because from HM1, we're seeing a similar composition come out, what we expect really. The Raze and the Reyna, the only key difference is no Jet coming in. That's a sight we don't get to see as often on Ascent. But double duelist, single controller, single initiator, and single sentinel, very standard composition that we've grown acquainted to. Now, having watched a lot of these double initiator versus double duelist compositions, we know that for Global Esports, the attack is really where they will start to shine, where they can use the breach to its utmost potential. So given the fact that HM1 are starting on attack, if they can get a decent lead, it would be humongous. Really nice lineup coming out with that cool observer updated cams to just give us a really nice look at the entire match.
Thank you, Riot.
But now, yeah, thank you, Riot. But for now, HM1 on the attack, they're going to be starting off taking us on this map, and it'll be them taking mid control slowly while pushing towards A.
They're trying to take this mid control, but at the same time, it's gonna be Shadow. He's just watching it out, not really doing much. But this is an army awaiting them on this A side. If they try and go for this push, it's gonna be hurting the entirety of HM1. Lightning fast. He's gonna be in the corners. He's gonna take the beat, but Shadow, he goes in for straight to the smoke. He gets the first shot onto Lightning fast, and immediately it's gonna be a fast one coming down onto this A side, but still, he's way too quick. He's gonna be able to take out his Eskerosi takes on Formless. Hellraiser takes one on the Bumble. Eskerosi takes on the second on the Shadow. He has Backfront. He's tapping away. He gets one on the Rossi, but from the Heaven side, raining hell from above is the remaining members of Global Esports to take away the last remaining member away from the side of the attack. It's such a beautiful round coming out from the side of Global.
Noble just hold their position strong. Even though Lightning Fast goes down, the rest of Global waiting in the rafters and under Heaven in that hell position, able to just mop up HM1 as they look for that push. The Breach flash coming up huge. Multi-man flash from Hellranger, really setting up the duels for the rest of Global Esports, and they're able to pick up the round in that fashion. Now, going into the next round, it will be GE able to go for the buys. I expect SK Rossi to go for the save and then pick up the operator in the third round, with the rest of HM1 expected to go towards that eco round. For now, we're gonna be, I think we're facing a small technical bug coming out, and that gives us the time to just sort of talk about how we expect this match to go and what HM1 really need to do to catch Global Esports off guard, because slow pushes into fast rush, it feels like that's just playing into what the Breach wants you to do.
Plus, when you're looking at Hellranger, he's the type of IGL that already knows what the opponent is going to be doing 5 steps ahead. You already saw for a fact that there was absolutely no noise, no nothing. And Hellranger's like, all right, boys, let's just 4-stack on A. And they just literally played it into the hands of the entirety of Global Esports. This is what they're bringing down to the table. This type of coordination and team play is just going to go and get even more scary if you play into their hands. This is why establishing map control is really important. And if HM1 don't establish map control and then try to execute down onto a site, they're just going to get caught off guard and they're going to get pushed into a corner, because Hellranger is one of those IGLs that he's going to be shifting the entirety of the team to one side if he knows for a fact that there's no one holding the other sides. That is why maybe taking mid control, maybe taking a bit of V control with at least one player before pushing down onto one of those sides is going to give you that massive advantage that would allow you to win a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, I think especially when you have that Raze Reyna composition, where you have the flashes as well as the utility necessary to clear out corners, if you're able to push in towards that pizza angle, then sort of take control of that entire corridor, look to peek towards the CT spawn, and then push in towards a particular site, it forces GE to sort of adapt to multiple angles at once, and that's where Breach's weakness lies. If all multiple players are funneling into the same site, like the way we saw in A happening in first round, Breach, he's just like, I'm gonna press Q on this wall and nobody can see anything from here on onwards. Hellranger doing just that, able to secure the round for GE. Now, let's talk a little bit more about HM1 in general and their progress from Series 1 to Series 5, because GE, they're a team we very well know. They're a team we understand what we can expect from them in terms of ambitions and goals. They're a team that wants to be the very best, but HM1, they've slowly but surely made their progress from a team that we've seen finish in the round of 64 and 32 to only last series finishing in the top 12 teams. And that progress is something that I personally appreciate, given the fact that we're running these 5 series.
HM1 as team, as you said, they grew exponentially when it came through the multiple series that they were coming forward in. And now they're facing their biggest adversary, being Global Esports in the round of 128, which is not something that you want to happen. Most teams in this entire series hope for the fact that they don't face this juggernauts when they're climbing up the rankings. But HM1, this is their do or die situation, and this is where all of that experience is going to be coming into play. All the experience you have gathered through the last series is this is where you need to show up, and this is where you need to show the entire world that, hey, we are the underdogs in this story, but we can pull off big upsets as well. And GE probably getting the second biggest upset at the Series 5 as well. It's probably gonna hurt if that does happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen upsets like this happen before, and we'll see if it'll happen again now. For now, let's just go
Right
back
here.
into game, right back into the action. To remind you guys, GE won the first pistol round, and it's going to be HM1 on the eco. GE with the buys. I expect SK Rossi, the sole member, to go for the save so he can pick up the operator, and you can see that he's only going to be carrying his Ghost. The rest of his teammates carrying that Spectre. GE with the advantage in this round. We'll see if they can push it forward. HM1 for now, I really like the idea what they're doing here, spreading themselves out as we wanted from them, right? Taking control of territory in particular areas. Here you see them taking control of that B shot angle. Now looking to push in here, using the Cypher camera to their advantage to just sort of get as much information as
Revealing it.
possible. And now with the recon dart coming out, is going to reveal exactly where they will need to look towards the side. But Kappa holding it down, he's
enemy
already
remaining.
found 3, pulls out his Ghost, finds his 4, looking for the ace. Will not be able to find it. Instead, it's Formless taking him down. Still GE2.
It's about this entire situation. Look at lightning fast. Just look at this man. He has nerves of steel. The recon ball attacks him and everything. He's just chilling. He's like, Kappa, if you let me out, I'm never gonna talk to you again for the rest of my life. He's chilling there. Look at him chilling there. He has complete trust in his teammate to take out every single one of these members. And this is absolutely beautiful. GE just spraying them down, mowing it all down with lightning fast, just feeding all the information to the hands of Kappa to get those kills. It's gonna be SK Rossi going in for a very fast push this time around. Tries to find a pick, but already it's gonna be HM1 backing off after the paranoia did come through. No information has been given off just yet, but this, of course, is the buy round for the side of HM1 after the eco. So Rossi, he does spot out one, needs to back off as he does only have a Spectre in hand. Can take this long range engagement just yet. Is going to be able to sort out the boom buddy, and HM1 they're looking to execute down on this A site once more, but they're taking small sides of mid control for a possible rotation.
Yeah, I really like the approach from HM1 because they definitely need to come up in this round and pull it through. This is their buy round. They've got the heavier weaponry over GE, who only have the Spectres to their name. So it's going to be HM1, up to HM1 to make the push and take the control. For now, you can see GE, they're just waiting for them to make the first move, not willing to unnecessarily take a peek. They take small peeks, looking for the rotations, but not actually committing to it full on and playing it smart, constantly going for the jiggles. But HM1, you see them on the map, taking with control, going down with it. But Skills holding down will get one. Ace finds the return though. It's 4v4 on the map. And now HM1, they have all the information in the world. They just need to move back into bait, but SK Rossi predicting it. Will get into catwalk, take Shadow down, and that's 4v2 for Global Esports.
Make it a 4 versus 1 instead, and immediately it's gonna be lightning fast coming in from the side of B main to clean out the last remaining member. That was way too quick, and it feels as though HM1, they're in a pretty big pickle, and they don't really know what to go, where to go even. Like, what are they gonna do against Global Esports? They're so indecisive, it feels. Like, I understand you wanted to take mid control, but you should send at least a bare minimum of 3 players to take the mid control, because when you establish mid control, you can go anywhere. And having those 3 players ready to go in for a fast push from the back side while your 2 members, let's say a Breach and the Jet, are moving through from the side of A main or A short, it's gonna be a beautiful play, and it's gonna be SK Rossi immediately going in for the dash and gets one on the Bablu, gets another one on the Formless, Hellranger coming in from the side as well, gets one on the Shadow PS and Ace. It's probably all over, and Typhon goes down as well. And CA, it seems as though this eco round and the buy rounds are getting a bit lackluster for the side of HM1.
Now Global Esports, they're very comfortable and they've got the eco to be comfortable. You see, like Hellranger and this SK Rossi, this flash and dash combo that we're talking about, working so well together, really setting up their solo duelists and SK Rossi for success, always using the utility. Now we're gonna see, for example, the paranoia with the dash combo come out, something that we saw earlier, and you can see SK Rossi sticking to the Spectre. I think this is because he's going for those aggressive plays, knowing that the Spectre is slightly better for those close range fights. Now, you see the combo coming out, and you see SK Rossi and Hellranger having taken control of A short. But here you can see they're expecting this, but the black flash will deny Ace, and it'll be SK Rossi picking up the first blood. look at the map. It's mostly just GE with the side control, HM1 with nowhere to go.
Stealing sight.
It feels as though the only place that HM1 can feel safe is actually in their own spawn, and that is not what you want to see coming out from the attacker side. Because this is the time you want to be establishing map control on your own, and it's going to be Kappa going in for the shock darts, and this guy is so good when it comes to those shock dart plays. He forces off that Sova of any angle that he can hold in that situation, and another member dropping from the side of HM1. They're slowly making their way towards this A side, but Bablu, he does go down to the hands of Kappa, who's stepping away from his side, and Hellranger from the sidelines does the crouch to dodge out the shot coming out from Formless, and they're holding strong 5-0 moving forward into the next round.
Let's take a quick look at the scorecards as we go into this next round. You see the eco likely coming out for HM1, but look at the scores: 7, 0, and 8. 7 kills and 8 assists for Hellranger. That's what I call some POG breach play. Hellranger, the IGL, the captain of Global Esports, leading from the front, and just beautiful synergy coming out from GE as a whole, proving exactly why they needed that one series break to sort of reassess their situation and come back looking so much damn stronger. Now the flash coming out, there'll be SK Rossi getting one, but Valorant Genius instantly answering back. The neural theft will come out. Hellranger, he got the advantage for GE, but HM1, they're going for that fast push. The shock dart will tag them so low, and beautiful aesthetics for us to see while it just that. Hellranger, he'll pick up a 3, and that'll be Kappa finishing it off for us for 6-0.
What I love more, Global Esports playing like this, or the cinematic cam. Because honestly speaking, you have to say that cinematic cam is absolutely beautiful. Like, we need to watch this again on the instant replay brought to you by the Ideapad Gaming. Just look at that beautiful shock dart instant. Like, it's really fun to see these shock dart plays initially when we watched them before, and now that we're going to be able to see them on the cinematic cam, just goes to this gives us a much more of the viewing pleasure, and especially seeing Sovas of Kappa's level going up for all these lineup darts. That's gonna add a bit more flavor into the mix, but it's gonna be SK Rossi getting a full-on lineup damage with— oh my god, Rossi! You don't do this to them!
Rossi just went beast mode there, first with the op and then with the Blaze Storm picked up 2, but then did end up going down as he went for the aggressive push. Formless able to take Rossi down. Now we'll find his second on his skills and make it 3v2 against HM1. It's just going to be Formless and Ace. Formless will go down to Hellranger, and now Ace, he's flanked on both sides. He has nothing to see because he keeps getting flashed. Nowhere to go, nothing to see, but we'll find the head. Nevertheless, we'll find another Ace now in a 1v1 situation. Can he find the clutch? Tags out Kappa a little bit, but Kappa playing it safe, waiting it out. Will play it calmly and secure the round for Global. Damn, Ace bought that round close.
Rossi, what just happened to this guy? First question. Rossi just went in massive. He had that operator shot train. He gets the first tap. He gets the leg shot on the Bablu as well. And then he's like, knife time, boys. Poof. Poof. Goes one after the next one, those headshots, and that was absolutely beautiful. But of course, you have to give it to the side of Formless as well. He's one tap, so very clean, and that round nearly turned over for the side of HM1, but still, it was gonna be Kappa going in for that off-angle play, jumping on that little ledge, get that advantage over Ace to take away that round, making it a 7-0 moving forward. And see, I think that HM1, they're trying to establish control, but they're not really playing as a team. It feels that they're playing much more individually.
Yeah, you see that even when they're able to take mid control like this, there really is no follow-up to their actions, and that really is what costing them, because Global Esports, every single play they make is completely synergized. When they push with the paranoia, there's someone ready to follow up for that blind. When they push with the breach flashpoint, there's someone ready to take advantage of that, and that really is what is giving GE the edge. I mean, that and just pristine aim coming out. Skills with that headshot will find the first kill and will do it in a beautiful fashion. I love that Singularity Phantom, man.
Singularity Phantoms, Iron Phantoms, everything is down on this table. And such beautiful skills and such beautiful headshots coming out from the players of Global Esports. It's gonna be everything. It's gonna be Ace though with the showstopper trying to take down skills. He's gonna be able to find one. Ace finds a second. He throws a nade and a boathouse at Hellranger. He is in a tough pickle right now. He needs to try and get these kills, but Ace, he's running it down, spraying it with the Phantom. He finds a 3K to his name, leaving only
Last player
Rossi
standing.
and
Spike planted.
Lightning Fast in the last remaining scenario. Rossi does get taken out by the hands of Ace with that one headshot coming in from the sidelines. And it's gonna be leaving poor old Lightning Fast to do what he can at the same time, but the spray coming out from the Omen. Formless, he knows exactly where he is. And finally, we're seeing some teamwork and coordination coming out from the side of HM1. And this is what you need to do to take out Global Esports.
Beautiful round coming out from HM1, especially Ace leading the charge even though they're one man down. Ace pushing in aggressively, finding the first kill with his showstopper, that's something you can expect. But the second kill to get the headshot and just sort of allow his teammates to funnel in onto the site, working exactly as you would want an entry fragger to. You can see it on the instant replay here. This headshot absolutely clutch, and then the grenade to clear out the boathouse, meaning all of HM1 easy side control for them, and that means they're able to pick up their first map on the board. Now, HM1, we talked about this earlier, like for them, it's all about trying to show a good attacking half, because GE, they're gonna get really comfortable in their own attacking half, but the fact that they won at least one round now shows promise for what we can expect from the future. But SK Rossi is gonna have none of that. GE, even though they're in defense, pushing in aggressively, they're the ones taking mid control, and SK Rossi with the double will get GE a huge advantage.
Global Esports is like HM1. This is how you actually properly take mid control. They just send the entire army down it, but it's gonna be Bablu. He's using the Hunter's Fury. He's popping out everything, but El Ranger, he has his phone number. Doesn't go in for the jiggle, but El Ranger goes in for the wide swing on the right side instead, being able to throw Bablu's aim, and he gets that first shot off Kappa, being able to take out a 1 HP Ace, leaving only Formless to go up against the entire world. And angry members of the entirety of Global Esports are coming right after, and Formless is going to be able to take out his own clone, but Kappa answers back with the refrag to take it away to an 8-1 scoreline for the side of Global.
8-1 for Global Esports, and you can see that this solo duelist composition, running that double initiator, where it really thrives is where when it's dictating the tempo and starting the plays rather than reacting to the plays. Proactivity is the name of the game for Global Esports, and when they are being proactive is when they completely dominate HM1. So HM1, they need to try and realize that and expect that aggressive push coming out and find a way to punish Global Esports for that aggressive push, then take side control and find their own advantage. You can see now, they're expecting the SK Rossi push. Valorant is waiting in the corner, able to take him down. But Skills on the other side takes one. Kappa with one more. Ace right there
One
to equalize
enemy
it though.
remaining.
But Kappa with this third will mean it's only the Cypher left. No more. Kappa with a 4K 9-1 for Global Esports.
Kappa's like, alright, you had your fun. Time to end it all. Kappa's like, one, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. And then he's like, spray. And he takes the last one away. Global Esports setting it to a 9-1 scoreline. This is just absolutely incredible coming out from this team. I personally thought that this match was going to be quite a close game. But it seems as though Global Esports, after all of the training, after all of the hard work they have been putting in, they're just a completely different beast coming into Series 5. And honestly speaking, this team is absolutely incredible, and this does revitalize everything, and it's gonna be SK Rossi just dashing it through the mid with Skills. He finds two, Skills finds one, and HM1, they're on the back foot once again. These hyper-aggressive pushes are working out in their favor. He does spot out Ace, uses the upgrade, uses the dash to get away. Ace trying to do the heroics with the boom mod, but it's not gonna be enough. And the last two remaining members are just stuck in the side of spawn. SK Rossi gets that first headshot with the Phantom, looking for a second. He sprays away, but Ace with that Dino is able to one-tap it straight out of this dimension. But Skills, he does have the spray in hand, and he finds one. Kappa coming in from the back end to clean it all up. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a 10-1 scoreline for the side of
Last
Global
round
Esports.
before the switch.
10-1 for Global Esports, and again, SK Rossi going for those really aggressive pushes, using the fault line from the breach and the flashpoint to enable map control. In this, you can see he's already taken B main control, B mid control, and then sort of swarming through both sides with the help of Skills and Kappa, ensuring that HM1, they have absolutely nowhere to go. Like, this sort of synergy coming out from GE is exactly what I love to see as they look to make their mark in this Series 5, take their last chance at taking the shot and becoming the champions themselves. HM1, the showstopper coming out for Ace will find SK Rossi, and they are able to punish the aggressiveness coming out. But Hellranger right there to back him up will find the first kill for Bablu. Stay too late and just get right out of there. Kappa will find 2 more, and
One
that
enemy
Cypher camera
remaining.
going down was the last we see of him. 1v3 for HM1, just formless left to try and clutch.
He's trying to do what he can. He has the most experience on this team. But ladies and gentlemen, when you're against players like this, it's not gonna work out in your favor. Lightning fast with that one way is gonna be able to
Switching
clean
sides.
it all up. And such a beautiful play coming out from him. Like, when you have a player such as Lightning Fast on this Cypher, it's just gonna be impossible to get down onto this B side, because when you play Cypher at a really high competitive level, and then the Cypher is a really good Cypher, there are so many one-ways you can set up in this map that going onto this B side is an absolute suicide. And then you go onto the A side, it's even more suicide, because there's 3 members just chilling there. What are you gonna do is the real question, and it seems as though Global Esports, they have everything under lockdown, and HM1, they're not able to break through their defenses at all.
I think HM1 are expecting a mid push to come out for GE, but this might just backfire severely because all the GE stacked towards the A side are now pushing in. The recon dart coming out to give them the information. It'll be SK Rossi finding the first kill, and just like that, GE able to take side control. Now GE, they have the man advantage, but HM1, they have to go for the retake, but Shadow getting caught out and Formless as well. I think this is match point for GE aggressive.
Really is match point. Bablu, he goes in for the taps. He finds one. Cannot find the second though, with skills going in for the jiggle. He's gonna be able to clean it all up. And Global Esports, they're gonna be moving on to match point on a 12-1 scoreline. Trying to close out this map. And HM1, they're gonna have a pretty rough spot with almost no money to work with.
Yeah, HM1, they're gonna have to be put in a situation where they have to go for the first buy and literally just try to claw their way out from this situation back to back, round after round, and that's going to be an extremely difficult ask from them. So we'll have to see what they can pull out of the bag. Maybe when their back's against the wall, they come back stronger, because now you can see a 5-man B-stack expecting this B-rush from GE. The Bablu finding the first, but Lightning Fast immediately finding the return. Formless with the Bucky though finds one. Shadow with another. HM1 with the prediction. 5-star.
Prediction
Standing.
5 seconds, where it's gonna be hard in the moment. The Bucky is one of those weapons that is so underrated and so broken that you need to keep an eye on it, but it's gonna be skill trying to go in for the spray. But that massive read coming out from the side of HM1 is gonna be the thing that stops Global Esports entirely. SK Rossi, he tries to go in fast, he tries to go in hard, but it's not gonna be enough with Formless. When he has that Bucky in hand, he's an unstoppable force with his team behind his back. And HM1 take it to a 12-2. They're trying to claw their way back, but this is gonna be a tall order indeed.
I think for me, this single duelist composition, it's all about how synergized your team is and how you look to set up your solo duelists. You can see GE, they've really taken the time to understand their particular roles in this composition, and they're playing those roles to perfection. But HM1 with the mind games is where they come out on top, and now they need to use those mind games to try and push forward. HM1 will be lightning fast, finding the first kill, and HM1 down a man. Shadow going down to skills will mean HM1 down 2 now. But Bablu waiting in the shadows will find SK Rossi.
Spike planted.
Now, GE, they've taken side control, they've got the spike planted. It's gonna be HM1 to go on the retake with this man disadvantage.
Just trying to
One
push
enemy
for as long
remaining.
as they can, but it's gonna be skills getting the first kill. Lightning fast gets one onto Ace as well. It's leaving only Bablu in this 1v3 scenario. He does find one on the Hellranger though. He's slowly making his way forward. He's gonna be looking for this Ace if he wants to try anything, but the drone does spot him out. Bablu's does spot out skills, so he's going in for the spray, but it's not gonna be enough. And skills goes in for the crab walk plays instead. And he's gonna be able to clean up the last kill onto Bablu, and this is gonna send Global Esports forward into the round of 64, ladies and gentlemen. And the last run for the side of HM1. A sad story indeed, but well played as well.
Yeah, HM1, they run up against the Juggernauts in GE, who've sort of taken that time to refresh themselves, to refresh their team and their composition, and now back in Series 5 with a vengeance. That vengeance clearly seen here. clean and clinical. That was Global Esports today, and they will be taking the win, moving on to the round of 64, 13-2. SK Rossi with that 344 ACS, 6 first bloods to his name. That's exactly what I like to see. But what I personally appreciate even more is 12 assists for Hellranger. That's when you know that the Breach is doing his job and doing it perfectly. Beautiful match from GE as a whole, and we'll take a second to talk about it a little bit more with the Relive the Moment brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 Notebook, powered by Ryzen 4000 series processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. Now, Aggressive, this solo duelist lineup, while we've seen in theory a lot, like Godlike carried it a lot in Series 4, a couple of other teams, like for example VLT, did it once or twice. We've never seen this in the hands of GE, and I really personally like it given how it sets up SK Rossi for success. When SK Rossi given that platform, given that stage to shine, it really feels like he can take over the game solo-handedly.
Duelist is one of those roles that I would say Duelist is one of those easiest roles if your team can set you up properly, if you have that mechanical skill, if you have that confidence, and your team is there to back you up, to set you up. There is no other role easier than Duelist. And SK Rossi is one of those talented players when it comes to the mechanical sense, when it comes to angle clear, when it comes to his movement. It's just so pristine that he can use all of the information that his team feeds and all of the setup that he gives and turns it into game-winning frags. And that is what GE is bringing down to the table. This new GE is absolutely incredible. Lightning fast, being an amazing clutch player. Kappa with his amazing lineup, with his recons, with his shock dart, are going to be able to find everything and skills with his smokes and his consistent aim. All of these things are from the side of Global Esports are going to be detrimental to any other team coming up, moving forward into the following rounds. And I want to see how far Global Esports go, because this new Global Esports is something that we never saw before.
Yeah, exactly. Like a scary Global Esports coming out, but props to be given to HM1. I feel like they tried their best to adapt to the situation, and we already know that this team is very capable of sort of coming up stronger. So I hope we do get to see them in the future in the scene. But for Series 5, their journey is over, and I'm sure like we'll get to see a lot more progress coming in from the community as a whole because of the fact that they get to face against these top tier teams and just sort of learn what to do when teams are at their very best. For now, Global Esports moving on to the next round. A scary Global Esports that will be really fun to watch for us spectators. So I'm looking forward to their progress throughout this tournament. That was the last of our matches for today's stream, and I hope you all have fun because all 3 matches were extremely good with XTZ Esports and then Global Esports. Now moving on, we got to see 2 top contender teams, but we also got to see a brand new team in Aya Gaming really show up and make their mark to show what they've got as we move throughout the tournament. Tomorrow we'll be back with just as many games and just as much action packed into the stream. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you're able to get the updates for when we do go live. Check out the links in the description below for just sales and discounts for you to pick up the peripherals or the extra devices that you need to just really up your gaming skills, up your gaming setup that one extra bit. For now, I was CA. I'm just joined by Aggressive today, and we are gonna be off for the day. We'll see you back with the action tomorrow in the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 5, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD.
Time every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. take my hand. And we don't need to do